The ultimate scammer. That'll be his superhero name if he was a superhero. It might be his villain name because he's a villain. We talk about Umar Johnson. He he's in some hot water. Okay, everybody knows this about the whole idea. Him begging for money, bank account frozen. My bank account's frozen. My bank account is frozen. Everybody heard that part. Having family issues as well. Well, we think we might have found out why it is that he's asking for money. We might have found out why he's coming up with the story about his bank account being frozen, the school account being frozen. He can't use Cash App. He can't use nothing. He out of digital money. We understand why now. Apparently, there have been civil judgments for delinquent city real estate charges on him. Now, the amount is somewhere in the region of $40,000. Here's the issue. With all the things that have been going on with the school being brought to the forefront all of a sudden again, and us waiting for over 10 years to see it come to fruition, the problem here is that it might not be in the location, at least right now in growth, that he has been saying. This idea that my bank account is frozen is that he's trying to get the money, but not to pay the taxes. We'll explain post haste. Now, what we do know about Mr. Umar is that he is a great person when it comes to procuring money. All right, let's not get this twisted. We will even give Umar all the credit in the world. The man knows how to beg. I can't dog the man's skill in that one. However, the purposes for why he's begging is where we have our question. Now, for all intents and purposes, what you might hear might solidify in your mind that you see he has a school. Not so quick. Not so quick. In order to have any good grift, you have to have something in the wheelhouse that at least you're okay. Any good scam artist would give you something to go on. They'll give you paperwork. They'll even have something tangible. Now, tangible enough for you to say it's there. Whether it's growing, moving, doing anything. No. It doesn't have to do all that. It just has to be there. So what has happened is that indeed there are parcels that have been named for him, except that he has not paid anything on them. Here's the case. Now, these are tied to FDMG campus, the FDMG campus, the FDMG campus. Parcel 26-029.40-028 on 610 East 17th Street. The judgment amount for that is $17,810 with a couple of $1,000 on taxes for water, sewer. Now, there are also some additional things for exterior improvement. Of course, nothing's been done. That's the biggest thing we want to get out to you. That's the first one. There's another one on August 5th. Now, this is just recently. So for all intents and purposes, things happening has not been happening, but this is definitely going on. August 5th, parcel number 26-029.40-027 on 611th East 17th Street, as opposed to 610, spanning a block, okay? The judgment for $20,000, $577, okay? Now, a couple of other, again, $4,000 or so, $5,000, give or take, for water, sewage, and of course for vacant registration fee. Make sure you log that one. I don't want you to think that anything is happening there. Vacant. Okay. Now remember the video he showed of him walking through schools and all that stuff. I don't know where that was, but understand this: from what we've been seeing, is the money that he has been getting, he has not been using for the places that he has been telling people. For all of the donations he's been getting for FDMG, Frederick Douglass, whatever, Marcus Garvey School of Empowerment thingy majigger, it has not been going towards either the taxes, the building, equipment, teachers, none of it. So the question now becomes, where is that money and how are you out of cash to even have nothing even developed to the point where as of August 5th, you have a vacant lot going on? That's the biggest question we have, Umar. So why are you begging for money? Are you asking us to pay this tax? And if it did have taxes and you want to solidify in our minds that something is happening, why wouldn't you tell us that you have liens on this particular thing particular lands that you want to put the school on. You could have been honest with that. You could have just told us, listen, man, the buildings here, we need to get this payment done. We need to get this payment done. The taxes are too much for me. I've been putting way too much work in. I need your help. You could have done that. So the question is then, is it because that you don't want to let anybody know where in the process the buildings actually are compared to the land? So you don't want to divulge that, although it's accessible, but only to people who are looking. Or do you have a way to pay this, but you're trying to just grift people for money? So the second question that we have is this: are your bank accounts actually frozen? Because the running thing now is that it doesn't get frozen for this. Are they investigating you for theft? Is that why your bank account is frozen? Are they investigating you for fraud because you've been defrauding people by saying you have something moving and nothing's going? And even the city knows it because they put a lien on you. Could that be? All we know, we're going based on what the government files here say versus what you've been telling people and what you've been putting on social media, Mr. Umar Johnson. As of the 5th of August, this month, 2025, this year, you have judgments against you for the two lots, 610, 611, and you have not paid them to the tune of $40-ish thousand. How did it get to that point? And exactly what is being done on these lots? Are they being used to say that you have it simply to grift more money, and you've actually not put anything towards the land, hence why you have this judgment? Or is it that you're trying to tell people at least something is beginning and the money you're begging for is this? But if it was for this, you told us. You would have told us. Now, I'm going to say this as our statement about Mr. Johnson. And I'm going to speak to black people. Sorry. If this was a white man doing this to y'all, the amount of names he would have been called, oh my goodness, the amount of masses he. But because he brands himself as a prince of Pan-Africanism, all of a sudden he gets a pass. Can I ask y'all a deep-seated question here? Why are we like this? Why are we willing to give the worst of us a pass, but willing to call the people that really want to help all kinds of names? The ones that will tell you this is what you need to do to get better: sellouts, coons, Uncle Toms, even worse. Umar, exploiting your money when you give him $10. Thank you for the $10. Make it 20 next time. That's okay. He will call you all kinds of crusty, dusty N-words. He will sleep around with your women and then say that because he can do that because he's the prince. He will promote your destruction at every turn while at the same time telling you he's for your empowerment. He will milk your assets, lie to your face, but you don't call him out. This man has been grifting you for 10 plus years while dressing his dashiki and wearing his nice little top hat, dancing in the streets, bringing you to cookouts and acting look like, and to the point where this man actually had a block party with a fake Michael Jackson that wasn't even black. Now make that one make sense. Showing footage of this so-called building being built, and the only people building it ain't looking like him. Now, the only reason we're making this an issue is because he's been telling people that he don't trust nobodies. And he don't trust the white man. But you trust the white man enough to build your black schools. They're the devil and the most evil people, but you have the devil out there building your schools, brother. They were the most vile people, and Massa killed so many of you, but yet still you're bringing Massa to build your schools, brother. You having the building built by the people that hate you, brother. But we can't say nothing to him. We should be the ones to hold him to it. We, black people, should be the ones to be able to absolutely ride his coattails straight out of town to tell him, leave, stop, shut up, be done. We are done with your grifting. We're not doing that. Last number I heard, I was somewhere in the region of $1 million to almost $2 million. This man already done raised for this so-called school with nothing to show for it. You don't have teacher. You don't have even private lessons going, nothing. You don't have an after school program just to have things skirted along. You don't got that. You're not even trying to rent a building to at least start the curriculum. You ain't done that. You have not produced a curriculum that you're thinking about doing. That ain't been done. Nothing. But every 5 minutes he's on the screen begging for money and people give it to him. Ironically, he only wants certain kinds of money from black people. But he'll take the money from white people that he calls the devil because he said it's a necessary evil. But let me ask, what has he done for the so-called black community as a prince of Pan-Africanism? Umar Johnson is a grifter, a liar, a scam artist, and he's a good scam artist. Why? Because he's doing it for a long time with nothing to prove, and nobody has said anything to him to the point where he's willing to stop. Living at home with his mama in basement, Section 8 kind of things. I don't remember if y'all saw the video of him with his Instagram live that he went live, and the man forgot to turn his camera around. He lives in squalor. He don't even clean his own house. But he wants to clean up the black community. The man lives like an absolute hobo and nobody says anything to him. And you think he is going to somehow, some way, come with some grandiose plan to save black America? The man can't even control his own home. How you going to fix somebody else's? He can't even control his own finances. How you going to control yours? He can't do for self. How is he going to do for your kids? He can't make ends meet. How the hell are you going to make a school work? If you do go there to be a teacher, you ain't getting paid. You already said that. You're going to do this for free. But he's going to pay the devil to do the work. Look, man. As much as it pains me to say this, I'm going to say it anyway. We need a swift kick, man. Like, right in the booty. We need a pow to wake us out of this ridiculousness. Because just because the man black don't mean we can't call him out and reprimand. In fact, it means we should. In fact, we should give him more hell than we give white devils if they exist. We should give him more hell because he claims to represent black people and he claims to love y'all while all the time hating. He will never pay this $40,000 off. But if he do, it'll be because people donate money. And you won't know about it because he'll probably do it, settle, and then come back and tell you, oh, look at the doors I got. He got 2 more doors. And look, this is just what we found. That doesn't mean that he doesn't owe people more money somewhere else in some other kind of judgment based on this school. We're looking into that, by the way. And when we find more, trust and believe we're going to bring it to the forefront. We have in mind to do some other things to get to the bottom of this scheme, because once we expose it, hopefully that'll show y'all that this man has no good intention for the black community. The black, how does he put it? Diaspora. Because when we find all we need to find, it's out there to find. Once we find it, oh, there's going to be a whole expose on this one. An entire expose on Mr. Umar Johnson. So, Umar, if you're listening, we gave you the chance to come talk to us, right? We did. We offered you a spot to come clear the air, tell everybody what you're doing. You didn't want to do that. We offered you the chance to come tell the people the truth. You didn't want to do that. But we understand why you wouldn't want to do that. We know why. Because the truth would expose you. So tell you what we'll do on your behalf. Since you don't got the guts to come and tell the truth, we're going to do it for you. We'll do it for you. No, we're generous, man. Look, we tell you we love people. We love getting the truth out there, and we're going to help you get your truth out, buddy. I mean, it'll make some sense later on that maybe you weren't telling the truth, but still we need to tell the truth. As for people who are expecting a school, you're going to have some waiting to do. Whether or not he pays these so-called liens is beyond us. We don't know how he's going to. Remember, he has no money. But if this is as August 5th and he put that video out before then, not having money, he can't pay this. Umar Johnson cannot pay $40,000+ in a tax because he has no money. Remember, assets frozen, personal bank account frozen, FDMG is frozen. No credits, no money. He needs it. That's what he said. So if he has no money, the school's in jeopardy. And if the school's in jeopardy, then he better come forward and tell everybody that he can't finish the school. But if you can't finish the school, what you've been doing for the last 10 years for this to be something of a vacant land registration fee that you, when you said a school was on it, please explain that to us. Now, Umar, if you're going to come and tell us, y'all just don't understand. White man going to keep this from happening. You hired the white man. Don't talk. The white devil. No, you hired the white devil to help build the school. You can't say nothing, Umar. You got no excuses anymore. You are outside the realm of excuses for the rest of your life. You can't say nothing about white people no more. Nothing. Snow bunny, all that lie. You've been caught on camera talking to snow bunnies and laughing and giggling and hee and ha and exchanging numbers. Shut up. You got not a leg to stand on. Shut all the way up. You a liar. You've been caught. Fess up to the people, and maybe you might salvage a little bit of your humanity that you got left, if you got any left. But for somebody to be this deep into the grifting and not care about the people you put in jeopardy because you took their money, telling them that I have hopes of making your children smarter, that you should feel real bad about that, but I doubt you will. But don't you worry, man. We're going to help set things right. Too Strong is back on our old bag. We back in there trying to get the information out that needs to be out. And when we find you and we find all the information about you, brother, find all the information about you, brother. When we find all the information about you, brother, it's going to be good. The FDMG school is going to take off to the floor. It's going to take off to the floor. It's going to take off to the floor. Prince of Pan-Africanism and pizza pans to you, brother. We're going to go back in our bag because we think it's a crying shame that you are in this an embarrassment and trying to harm the black community this way, to this degree. You are doing far worse than the Triple K ever did, bro. You're doing far, at least the Triple K, we knew what they were about. We knew what they wanted to do. You doing the same work while acting like you're not them. Marcus Garvey wouldn't want nothing to do with you. He wouldn't want his name tied up to you. Frederick Douglass, much less. He wouldn't want nothing to do with this school. I don't even know how you managed to be able to put his name, their names on a building you're doing. I don't even know how you managed to feel comfortable doing that. That's amazing to me. Either way, we figured we'd bring this information to you so you know it's not just us talking out the side of our mouth. There are bits of information out there legally that is tied to him that is absolutely showing that he does not have any plans to actually build this school. Y'all can go check it yourself. We gave you the information. If you want to go call the city and find out, Wilmington, it's out there. Delinquent real estate charges. Okay? Y'all can go check that out. But when we find out the rest of the information, which is out there, because if this is there, more is there, we'll hit you up. We might even just pop up one day doing a live with all the info. And it would be quite hilarious if Mr. Umar decided to pop in and cuss us out because we're doing it. We'll address you 3 times before we bring you up. How about that? So that we at least know that you're interested in talking. 3rd time's a charm. 3 strikes, you're out. Hey, look, Umar, we're only doing this this is for you, really it is, because we don't want you to continue down this road. You're too old to be doing this, and we need to have you wake up before you go to sleep. We need you to wake up because you could actually be a very positive thing for the black community if you would, but do right. Because I mean, young boys could learn to talk as articulate as you. They could. It would be great for young black men to be able to walk into an interview and be able to word spin like you. They would have any job they want if they could do like you. Imagine a young black man walking into a job that he wants, and it's a $200,000 a year job, and he walks in clean, crisp, and he sits down. Greetings, brother. I'm here to tell you today that I can do this job better than anyone in this building, better than anyone in this building, better than anyone in this building. And I will tell you now, brother, you will never find another one better than me. You will never find another one better than me. Never find another one better than me. Well, you got the job, sir. Thank you, man. You could teach a lot, but you're a grifter. So we got to shut that down first. We got to shut that down first because you're a detriment right now. So we got to revamp things, get the people on the right page, and then we can have a robust conversation. We good with that? Cool. For those of you who still support him, I'm sorry. Do what you got to do. It's your money. We ain't telling you what to do with it. We're just telling you where it's going, and then you can decide if it's worthy or not. So y'all do what y'all got to do. For the rest of us who can see through the scam and know that no school is going to happen, now you know why. Leave your comments below on this one. Let's see where it goes. See how it happens. See what you say. Because you might disagree fully, and that's okay. You can. That's the beauty of the First Amendment. Disagree. But please, if you can, just answer me this one question. If there was a school in progress, where it at? I look forward to reading your comments.